Hello.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Do we have anybody here?
Maybe.
I changed the time, I think, from 6:30 to 6. So might have lost some people in that. 30 to 6.
Well, they'll show up at 6:30 then.
We'll get some stragglers around at 6:30. Well, I was going to do 6:30 because I thought I was getting off at 5. And then I was sitting at work and I had gone out to lunch and come back and my boss was in a meeting, but all of my stuff was in her office because I was working just admin stuff all day in there today. And she told me the meeting was going to be over at 1:20. The meeting was not over until 2:00. So I was like piddling, twiddling my thumbs, getting there at 2:00. And she's like packing up her stuff on her shoulder. She's like, I've got a haircut. I'll be back in a little while. I don't have anything else for you to do. So finish up whatever you were doing for so and so and so and so, and then call it an early day. And I was like,
Nice.
okay. So I left about 3 instead of 5. So I was like, I can just move up sprints a little bit. Hello, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. I think that's what I said. I tweeted it earlier and I'm pretty sure I said 6:30. No, I said 6. That's okay. People aren't off work yet.
They'll trickle in.
That's all good. We'll hang out with a few of us that are here. Hello, what is everyone reading?
So I am reading Dragon Mage. It's self-pubbed, I think, self-pub fantasy on KU, and I'm still only on page like 100 and there's 800 pages and I was really trying to finish this before October. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to just try to see how much I can read tonight.
Yeah, it's a chunker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of it, especially after hearing Cassidy's thoughts. I was like, oh no. So I'm curious to see what you think because we have similar thoughts usually on fantasy. So if you like it and she hates it, I'll still try it. If you hate it and she hates it, it's probably going to pow.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome. Are you surviving law school? House of Earth and Blood. Okay, nice. Too many books from the library. This is a mood. It's kind of where I'm at right now. Hello. Hello, you're reading Early Writers. Oh, well, we support the DNF in this house.
Yeah, DNF. There's not enough time to read all the books that you want to read, so you might as well DNF the ones you don't want to read.
Absolutely. I am currently 30% into my book. And I guess I can tell you guys because I don't suppose it's a huge secret. So I'm reading The Girl Before. I'm doing a cult books vlog, and this is the second one. And I'm 30%. And I ramble/rant in the vlog, but I'm giving it until 50 before I decide to DNF it. Reading the 4th book in the 7th, Throne of Glass. Nice. Ooh, what are you thinking of Lies of Lot Lamora? Because I started that one a couple of times and have DNF'd it a couple of times, but not because it's bad, just because I'm not sure if it's the book for me. Reading a dark romance. Nice. You just turned your first big writing assignment in.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome to join if you want verbal company or if you just want to hang out and be a vegetable. Completely understand. DNF is self-care. Agreed. Yeah. Okay. So you haven't given it a lot of time. I see what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm that way sometimes too. If I'm still fairly early on in the book, I'm always like, but what if it gets so much better? Because there are books that I really like that I wasn't in love with at the beginning. So usually I only DNF super early if I'm absolutely hating it at the beginning. If I'm indifferent, I try to give it enough time to grab me. But if it doesn't grab me by like page 100, I'm usually totally fine DNFing.
Yeah. Usually with me, if it's like the writing style that I really don't like, so Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, I DNF'd at like 25 pages because I could just tell that it wasn't the story, it was the writing, and that's not going to change. But The Last House on Needless Street, I actually was buddy reading it with a friend. She started it before me, and I got about 20 pages in, and I was like, I don't like this book. I think I'm going to DNF. And she was like, no, don't. Just keep reading it. And I did, and ended up giving it 5 stars. So. But usually I'll give it like 20%. Ooh, I like to turn up the key. I hope you enjoy it.
It's good.
Reading 11/22/63. That's a big boy. More romance focused. I did not know that. That's not one that I think will be for me, but I'm glad you are enjoying it. Hello, welcome. Like it, but the time jumps have confused you a bit in the beginning. Yeah, it is a little bit time jumpy, but I think that, yeah, like you said, that settles out. Have fun. So how do we feel about semi-short sprints, like more not focused necessarily, but not overly chatty? Because I will just talk and talk. I don't
Sounds
know.
good because I mean, I have 700 pages I'm supposed to read.
A mood. A mood. Rye is coming at some point, but I don't know when. And so I hate to wait on her if she's going to be like 30 minutes, but I hate not to wait on her if she's coming in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm reading The Girl Before. Kaylee is reading Dragon Mage.
Is The Girl Before, I mean, I know it's a cult book, but is it like a horror book or more of like contemporary cult stuff, or what is it?
So I'm trying to do a mix of everything in the vlog, but right now I would say it's leaning more contemporary. It is not horror. I will be reading a horror, but this one is not it. So I've got 4 books on the list. 3 of them lean more thriller, but a couple are darker than the others. And then there's one that is a proper horror book that I just happened to run across in Barnes & Noble one day. I was like, oh, mine. Didn't even know it existed.
I recently read a really good cult book, but it's a little bit of a spoiler to say what the book is, so I don't want to like say it out loud. Yeah, I'll private chat it to you. Because it's not like immediately evident that it's a cult book, you know?
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. I want to read that one. I think it's on Rise TBR, but it's a big one for a horror. Yeah. Did you like it?
I loved it, and I thought it went by really, really fast. And it's like easy to read, and lots of crazy stuff happens. It has so many different elements of things that I like in it. So it's just so good. So good. Sorry, I'm being so vague to all the people watching. I'm sorry.
No. I might end up trying that at some point in the month. I don't think it'll go on for this vlog because I've already bitten off more I can chew anyway. So, but I do want to read that one. I've seen it around.
I am liking the first 100 pages. Yeah, I the first 100 pages are like promising. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that it continues to be where I like it. But it's pretty easy to read, which is nice for an 800-page book, because an 800-page book that's super dense can like I mean, I can still like a dense 800-page book, but it just is a bit more intimidating, where this one, it's reading quickly and there's lots of stuff happening. It's not super dense, so it's good so far.
I want to read this one. Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know Cassidy really liked it in the beginning, and then it kind of went downhill for her. Same thing for Rachel. So I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks. I may try to come to that live just for the beginning part, because I know it's supposed to be somewhat spoiler-free in the beginning, just to kind of hear what everybody ended up rating it to see. Because Cassidy had it in my Witch's Brew and took it out after she read it. So she's like, no, take that. Like, okay. But I have it on audio, so it's not like... And the hardcover, have you seen the naked hardcover?
I don't think I've seen the hardcover.
The naked hardcover is a printed, like it's got the cover is printed onto the under the dust jacket without the title and everything. Oh, so pretty. Reading City of Bones, Light Lark, and Vampire Academy. Yes, you are living your Halloween vibes. I love it. Have you read Light Lark, Kaylee?
No.
I've heard things, some good, some bad. So
I've heard many things. I am kind of curious, and I might end up giving it a go just out of curiosity, but it's not the kind of book that I would have picked up on my own. So it's one of those things where, like, if I don't like it, I don't know if that's necessarily fair for me to put out another negative review, because it doesn't seem like a book I think I would like to begin with. You know what I mean? So But
But at the same time, for people that have similar reading tastes to you,
yeah.
to know that you didn't like it would be helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though
I mean,
you
I
don't
wouldn't hide the fact that I didn't like it, but I don't think I will, like, try to and it's totally
Yeah,
fair for people who have ripped it apart, like, it's very entertaining, but me personally, like, I don't think
I
if I
haven't
hated it, I
seen
would, like, rip it apart just because I'm like, I
yeah,
already am pretty sure I'm going to dislike it, so
yeah. I really haven't heard any specifics, and I think I'm intentionally not trying to, but now I kinda wanna know.
I've been hearing some, like, quotes that people read out, and it's just, like, so
Hmm.
so funny, the quotes.
Oh, man. Maybe I avoid that one. Needed these, sitting here waiting for Hurricane Ivan. Ugh. Good luck. Hope you stay safe. I wonder if this is with all of them though, or if it's just because sometimes you'll get some that just don't attach very well. So I
Mhm.
wonder if it's every hardcover because I had not heard this. But the paperback's really floppy too, so always a good floppy. Hello, hello. Across the green grass fields. Nice. Okay. So I think we've given Rye a reasonable amount of time. She'll get here when she gets here. And let's do our first sprint. I'm thinking like 35 minutes or so.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys in 35 minutes. That is not the noise that was supposed to make.
I immediately knew that was wrong.
I was
like, what? At first, I had like a show in the background, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't go with the episode. But I was so confused.
What is the noise supposed to be? There we go.
That made me so bad.
Oh, I'm struggling. Okay. There, I'm going to set a timer, so I'll shut up. Hi, Rye. Welcome.
Hey, hello.
Welcome to the chaos.
I love chaos. It's my middle name.
What are you reading, Rye?
So I finished a graphic novel today, and I'm literally just read like 2 pages of Clown in a Cornfield too.
Ooh, I'm so excited to read that one in October.
Yes, I'm like, didn't know what I wanted to do because it's like weird timing, but I figured I'd just pick this up. So, and I can use it for Halloween weekend that starts tomorrow, so I can fit it into something. So
yeah, for sure. I feel like the prompts for Halloween weekend are pretty easy to just fit whatever spooky books you need to.
Yeah, so it's not on my TBR for October, but we're gonna go.
I completely forgot that was going on, so I probably won't be participating.
But I got to do a couple things like during these sprints. So I don't know how much reading I'll get, but
fair. I'm supposed to be reading and getting to at least the 50% mark of my book, or finishing it today, like I told Kaylee I was going to do instead of editing. So.
Still,
but in my defense, the wrap up has to go up Saturday, so it needs to be edited, right? It's got to be edited sometime between now and Saturday.
Yeah,
and the book has to be finished between now and Saturday. So.
Same deadline. We're working towards the same
deadline. Didn't read that sprint, watched YouTube. Fair. Pumpkin cheesecake ice cream? This sounds, I'm not sure, but I'm not a pumpkin person, so.
I like pumpkin stuff, but for some reason I can't get with pumpkin cheesecake ice cream. I've tried it because it always sounds like it's going to be really good, but I'm not a fan.
Oh. The pumpkin spice stuff is okay, but
yeah, well, I feel like cheesecake stuff and ice cream always tastes kind of weird to me. Like, I love cheesecake, but like cheesecake in ice cream, I don't know. I don't like it.
That was disturbing. But we have somebody else that liked it better, but I don't know if I can do it. It was like, it's just not right. Finish the second part of Crescent City.
Hey.
Oh, do it.
I'm so glad you're liking it.
And I feel like Crescent City is just a book that keeps getting better and better, like as you're getting farther in the book.
Yep. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was a little disappointing. I mean, I still liked it, but it just was not.
I loved the second one too.
I loved the second one too.
Like it will be.
I still give it a 4-star, but it just wasn't like 5-star feels.
It will be probably near the top of my top books of the year.
Like, yeah,
I just loved it. I could see where people wouldn't like it. Like I can see it, but I loved how it all wrapped up, and I loved it.
I read it late, but somehow had avoided all spoilers about the book. And so I was completely shocked by the ending. And I ended up calling my best friend. I was like, I know you know nothing about this, but I need to tell somebody about this because it was before BookTube and before I had book friends. And I was like, I need to tell this my random friend that doesn't know anything about the universe.
Mel and Cassie had me record my reaction to the ending because Mel had finished before me, and Cassie had been spoiled for it because she wasn't going to read it. I stayed up till almost 2 a.m. finishing it because I just couldn't put it down.
Was great. She was like,
I reread the first book before reading the second one because it had been a while, and I reread it through audio. And I just ended up binging the audiobook all in one day and was sobbing at the end of the first book. It's like I've read this before, and it's still making me cry. It's so good.
It does hit the feels. I have faith in you, Brie. You can do it. Made it to the 4th part. Ooh. You're making me want to pick it back up again. Shadowhunter Academy. Oh, that's I've never read any of the short stories. I'm not a short story gal. It's not my thing. Starting your October TBR early. Nice. I wish I could say my September TBR was finished, but
Yeah.
technically it is. Now I'm reading things for vlogs, but I intentionally did not finish a book. So I put a book on my September TBR that I knew I wasn't going to do the vlog for until November. So I don't know why I did that. So I just took a punishment. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah. I don't think I've had cheesecake ice cream before. I'll have to try it before I pass judgment.
I feel like it's hard because it gets so cold, and when you bite into it, it's so unpleasant. I don't like it. Like, maybe if people have stronger teeth, it would work out, but my teeth are weak little babies. I can't handle biting into frozen cheesecake.
I don't think that I am thinking what it actually is in my brain. For some reason, I'm thinking like scooped ice cream with cheesecake flavor.
Okay, so I like that, but I don't like when there's like chunks of cheesecake in the ice cream. You know, like
like pieces of it.
Yeah, in the ice cream.
Because I was thinking of I think Ben and Jerry's has a pumpkin cheesecake flavor that I tried last year or the year before, and it had chunks of cheesecake, and it was just like so unpleasant. And so I would hold it in my mouth to make it like melt where I could actually eat it, but then it just like it didn't work. I didn't like it.
It wasn't feeling it.
No. I have strong opinions about ice cream.
My mom has to have texture in her ice cream. Has to. Has to be a crunch something. 56% to Daughter of Redwinter. Oof, good luck. 37 pages. Kaylee, how did you do with Dragon Mage?
I read 20 pages. I was on the phone for a little bit of that sprint, but I did read 20 pages. So, I mean, not fantastic, but slow progress.
Hey, it's still progress. More progress than I made, which was none. I'm going to start maybe someday. What did you think of Creep? Because you were on a Jennifer Hillier binge there for a while. Liked Babe or loved Babel. I still need to read that at some point.
So I haven't.
I'm still shocked that you have not had spoilers.
That's impressive.
Still need to read Crescent City. All the Crescent City love. Pumpkin cheesecake ice cream from Target, and it doesn't have chunks, but it's flavored. I think we could do that.
Yeah, I like pumpkin ice cream in general.
Found Crescent City to be equally disappointing as 2. Interesting. Interesting. Different opinion. That's okay. Hopefully, if you decide to continue, it works better, or you just maybe bit your bullet. Really good. I concur. Yeah, I'm curious to see which one's going to come out next. ACOTAR 5 or Crescent City 3?
Yeah, I feel like she's an author that doesn't really like post her plans for publication. At least I haven't seen any plans for
what. Someone said it, and now I'm drawing a blank because people were mad. I think it's Crescent City 3 because people were mad because they really want to follow up to Silver Flames.
I think that it was a third. It was.
I think it's Crescent City 3 that's coming out next.
Yeah,
I'm happy about that because I love the Crescent City books. I think that's Crescent City is my favorite series by her, but A Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite single book by her.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not sure that I love the direction, so I don't really care what comes out next. Reading Middle Game. I am glad you're enjoying it. I need to read the sequel to that, but I've heard it's very different, and some people said not as good. So
I need to read Middle Game still.
Same.
I have it. I bought it like right when I started book 2.
It's one of those books so many people talk about and so many people love, and I'm like, I want to read it, but I don't know any details. Like, I couldn't even tell you what genre it is. I just remember way back when I first heard about it, I was like, that sounds good, but then I never, I don't know it.
Yeah. It's speculative fantasy, and it's not for everybody. Ollie, where'd you go?
It's just so, like, it's just, for some reason, it's very intimidating to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you'll like it, Rye. You'll either love it or you'll be indifferent to it and possibly DNF it. Not sure which. Oh, me. Well, I need to finish, I guess, editing this video since I've started now. But I really need to read the book. I don't want to.
I was like waiting to film my wrap up because I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish my September TBR. I might as well wait for a couple more days when I can finish it. And then I haven't read any other books in my September TBR, so there was no point for me putting off filming the wrap up.
Love it. Once I finished Twisted Love, I knew I could go ahead and do it because anything else is going to be for the cult vlog, and I'm not going to save my thoughts in a wrap up before the vlog goes up. So
I failed my September TBR, but I read 10 books that weren't on my TBR. I'm like, why did I do this?
Hey, 10 is good. That's good, though.
You read books, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do another 35 minutes. That gives us more time with Rye before she passes out on us.
I'm okay since I was home all day. I took a nap, so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were home. How's Nora?
She's all right. She has like the bacterial thing on her face again, so she is home definitely for another 24 hours because that's when it's contagious. And for a face cream, she has a cold. Went to the doctor's today, so but she's got to be home tomorrow. And it's the 1 week where Sam can't work from home. Like he's not even home yet. Like so I have like there's literally no option. So like his company has like this big thing they flew people in from like all over the country. So like he literally cannot miss work.
Ugh.
Like stay home and work. So I'm home again tomorrow. So
well, at least you get a little bit of a break.
I know, right? So it's weird because like it's just me and Nora because Gray's at school, so it's very odd. So I have like no one to talk. Well, I mean, she talks, but she's not like
you
know what I mean?
Like
it's not like I can ask her a question and it's like
you're having very intellectual conversations together.
Like we get a couple words here. I mean, she talks, but not like not like Grayson, who I can have like a full-fledged conversation with.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah,
still have the audiobook. You can do it. You can do it. You still got like 3 days, 2 days, however many days. Okay. So let's I guess do a 35-minute because apparently I'm not reading and maybe I can finish editing in that amount of time.
Yeah, I gotta do some stuff, so that's perfect.
All right. See you guys in 35 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry if you can hear my computer thinking about taking off. I finally got my video filmed, so
Awesome.
it's unhappy at the moment, but it'll be all right.
My computer does the same thing. It always sounds like it's going to explode anytime I try to do anything with the video.
Stop it. Stop it. How'd you guys do? Get anything done?
I ended up just watching like Michelle and Lexi's live show for Stay Awake because they're like book club choice and they're live right now, and so they all liked it and I didn't, so I was just being like a little gremlin in the comments being like, but what about this?
It's so much fun though sometimes.
Yeah.
Just the devil's advocate. You're just making the live show more interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about you, Ryan? Did you get anything done? Oh, you're muted.
I showered and then Sam just got home at like 8:15 or so.
Good.
So I just like updated on what to the day, and then I only read like 6-7 pages. So
not bad, not bad.
Felt good to shower.
I'm getting a couple of admin stuff done really quick like. Where'd it go? Oh, it's because I titled that wrong. No wonder I'm so confused. Oh, me. It's one of those days. Okay. Let's get back to this. Where did I stop? Just got home from work, gonna hop in and then join the sprints. Nice. Hello, Rachel. She appears. I mean, same, but I feel like that's a perpetual state we live in now. 13 pages. How are you liking this one? Yay, nay, maybe. I want to read it to see what the hype's all about, but also I'm not sure if it's my kind of book. 110 pages left of Lamora. You can do that.
Wow.
Mine's not even that old. It's just cranky, apparently.
Yeah, mine's not that old either, but apparently it's just weak.
Weak sauce. Mine does not like Final Cut. The way, and I think it's some setting that I have, but I need to adjust. But it tries to render and save all of the rendered files, which would be quicker and nice if I had the storage for it, but I don't. And so it looks like there's this massive amount of space being taken up when all I have to do is clear the rendered files. So it makes my computer very, very cranky. What is this supposed to schedule for? What did I tell you guys? Saturday? That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Schedule! Yay! That makes me feel better that I don't have to be scrambling, because otherwise I was going to have to film it on Friday, edit it on Friday night, and upload it by Saturday, and that was just cutting it a little too close for me. Mm-hmm. Even though that's essentially what I did today anyway. And I would have had more time on Friday. Look, it's fine. You made it to 20%. Coho is usually really, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
You continued with Book Lovers, which is the last read for the month. Nice. That's awesome. What are you thinking about it, Joanne? That one was probably my least favorite Emily Henry, but I know there were a lot of people that really enjoyed it.
I still haven't read that one either. Bought it right when it came out.
But have you read Beach Read?
No.
Beach Read.
I only read the first one.
Beach Read was the
Beach Read's okay, I haven't read Vacation.
Oh, People We Meet on Vacation.
Yeah, I read that one. I liked Book Lovers. Or not Book Lovers.
I knew what you meant. That's fine. That's fine. I knew what
all the names. Yeah. I read all 3 of those, but Book Lovers was by far my least favorite.
Mm-hmm. Back from kickboxing. I mean, I should do this. This sounds like a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been walking. I'm trying to walk at lunch because we've got a good little walking area. I don't know how long that'll last. But it's been nice. Took a bit to get used to the writing style because of the time period, and it started off slow, but it's getting interesting and good now. Nice. I've heard the pining and the slow burn, is the perk of that one. 70 pages so far, but it's okay. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite either. I think I ended up rating it as a 3-star on Goodreads when I meant for it to be a 2.5 and rounded up, apparently. It works for some people. It just the sisters just didn't do it for me. Not enough romance either.
I think I originally gave it 3.5, but the more I think about it, it's just like a low 3, not a 3.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Debating throwing out your October TBR to read Godbreaker. I mean, I support this, and then you can tell me if it's good, if I should throw my TBR out to read Godbreaker.
Mm-hmm. What is Godbreaker?
It is the third and final book in the Black Coast series.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh-oh. Why am I getting a Wi-Fi symbol? I never get a Wi-Fi symbol. Why are you angry? Stop being angry. I'm going to flip it to the other Wi-Fi, and hopefully it doesn't cut us out. 1, 2, 3. Are you back? You're moving. Am I back?
We're back.
Okay, it didn't help me. It did not help any, but it's fine. Just finished book 27. That's awesome. Nice. That's impressive. Don't want the YA plot. Are you talking about the representation plot line? I don't want to say it and spoil things for people, but I think I know what you mean. I think that could be more interesting. Maybe. This is the final book, right? Because it doesn't feel like everything should be wrapping up in this one. Finally read Twisted Love and can't wait to continue. Yeah, Ryan and I just read it, and I think we both liked it, but didn't love it, and are hoping to like it better in the second and third books because Haley loved those.
Yeah, when I was reading Twisted Love, as soon as the one character is introduced that's going to be in the second book, I was like, this has to be one of the couples. Like, as soon as, like, introduced and described his character, I was like, sold. Like,
brooding, we got you.
This has to be one of the spin-offs, or, like, the second one or third, and it was.
Yep.
I was like, yes.
They have such a fun dynamic.
One, right? Is it the second one, Kaylee?
Yeah, it's the next one. Yeah, it's the second one.
Yeah, from here on out in that series, I really loved all of the books. I gave all of them 5 stars, but I think book 2 is my favorite just because I love that trope the most. Mm-hmm. But I think they're all really good. It's just the first one that I didn't love, and I felt the exact same way that you guys felt about the first one. So I'm hoping that you guys follow me with the ratings and love the second one. Just like
I think I will, because I definitely think the book ended stronger than it started.
Mm-hmm. And they all kind of have the similar sorts of things where I'm being vague, so don't worry, anyone watching, I'm not going to spoil anything. But you know how the feeling of the end of book 1 was a little bit different than like the beginning of book 1? That's kind of how they all follow that sort of structure where things get more intense as we go along. And so they're fun romances because they feel unique to me.
Nice.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. I love a broody bodyguard. Yep, me too. Yeah, I agree that Prince Kid was boring. Well, in books 1 and 2, to be quite frank. Took a little bit of a break on Light Lark to knock off Heartstopper. Yeah, that one's so quick. You can knock that out. Finishing Lies of Acklemore tomorrow. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You got a book done. I mean, you can count Smut.
Yeah, I would totally count Smut.
Love the Twisted Love series. Also can't wait for King of Wrath. I saw that cover. Is that the new series, the Dante one you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of want to love Twisted Games so that I can buy all of them and have the pretty covers to match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a materialistic girl. What can I say?
I want the cover. I do want to buy the series physically.
Interesting, Melissa, because I didn't mind Alex particularly much. I didn't love Ava.
That's where mine was a 3.5, and a large part of it was for the beginning of the plot and Ava.
But she reminds me a lot of the main character in Brutal Prince.
Yes, very similar.
And so I can see why Melissa would like her, because they do remind me of each other. There was just, I think it would have been like a 3.5 to a 4 if we hadn't had that one thing that I spoiler tagged in Rye's Patreon Discord. That brought it down to like a 3 because I could not stand it and I did not see the purpose in it.
Yeah, I felt the exact same way. That was the major reason why my rating was low, was because of that.
Because I mean, I've read dark romance plenty of times with people called way worse than that and during making bacon time, but that just had no context, and so it just seemed I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm, like, hoping that the other books don't have that because, like but if it did have things that bordered on close to that, it didn't bother me in the same way that it did in book 1.
Yeah, and you knew exactly what I meant, so I think you would
Yeah,
have known.
'cause that is literally the exact reason why I didn't love book 1 is that issue, and so I'm like, I can't remember for sure if that sort of language is used or not in the other books, but if it is, it didn't bother me in the same way, so hopefully it won't bother you in the same way.
Hopefully so. Cool. Alrighty, well, do we want to do another 35-minute? And then now that my video is exported, I should be able to get some reading in.
I know, imagine that, us reading during reading
Finally.
streams.
I mean, I never do, so I don't know why you're surprised. You got this. Okay. Why are you reading or are you doing things?
I'm probably gonna read, I think.
I can't wait for you to tell us what you think of that one.
Of the cornfields.
Yes.
I'm intrigued so far. Like, I'm only 10 pages in and I'm already interested. Like, the way it starts is like I'm reading to watch Cassidy's clown vlog. So if I know I'm gonna be reading a book, I won't watch the vlog until after, because I don't want to be in, like, even if
You
it's
just need to watch the intro of that one, though.
I watched the intro so far and I loved it, but I never want to be like influenced, even though it's spoiler free. I don't want any influence like going in. Like, I always will wait till afterwards to watch it. But I know that she gave it star rating, so that makes me really hopeful. Like, I just can't hear her thoughts on it, so I'm liking it so far.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, let's do a 35-minute, and then hopefully we'll all read a little and can tell you about our books. Hello.
Hello, we lost Rye.
Yeah, she said she was getting sleepy, so she went to bed.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Welcome. And I'm sure you're gone, but good night. I made it about 13% further, so I'm about 43%. And this book, like, I'm intrigued and I want to know what's going on, but it's so all over the place.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm wondering if the all over the place is intentional to try to give you that like feeling of not having a lot of like grounded, but at the same time, there's just so much like I don't understand why she's so into this guy. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I
annoying.
want to continue to know, but I don't see it getting over a 3-star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read 50 pages of my book, so I'm on page 175 now,
Nice.
and I'm liking it less now, which is sad.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna try to continue reading it, but if this wasn't for Hannah's book club discussion, I think I would DNF at this point. But I think what I'm gonna do is just have like a daily page goal until the live show. Because I think it's October 9th, so there's still enough time for me to just read a small section each day. But if I end up like hating it, I will stop and DNF. But right now I'm just feeling a bit indifferent. Like it feels like someone telling me a story and not me experiencing a story.
That makes sense.
And I feel like besides our main character, all the other characters are so one-dimensional that I'm not getting immersed in the story because they don't feel like real people. It feels like a flat story, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, sad day. We need some 5-star books.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, I am reading The Girl Before by Rena Olson. Yeah, Rachel wasn't a fan of Dragon Mage either.
Yeah, at first I was hopeful that maybe I would no, I'm in the school.
After the school, I think is when Rachel really started to not like it anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the school, and even in the school I just feel so excuse me, so like distant from everything. I liked it at the beginning when they're in their village, and then when they left the village, I started liking it less and less. Where I was like just still liking it, but the enjoyment was going down. And now that we're at the school, it's like I'm no longer enjoying it. It's just like indifferent.
Yeah. Hate that.
Yeah.
You got this. And then bed. I'm glad you're liking it. And Ashes of the Sun is solid. Have you read it yet, Kaylee? Because if not, this is me shoving it at you.
Well, I think in November I'm gonna try to do like a full fantasy month because October is so many spooky reads. And yeah, Ashes of the Sun, because I own it. I really want to read that one in November. That's for sure getting on my TBR.
Read it.
Because yeah, it looks so good.
So good. I think it's my only 5-star fantasy of the year. We all liked The Village, and it was so boring after the school. Yeah, that's been the general consensus. Just that the book, I think it was probably a little bit from what I've heard, the whole indie editing system where she didn't have somebody to go, okay, you said this already, let's cut this out and maybe not make it 800 pages.
And some things that I was like interested in happened so fast. Like for example, The Village. It's like that was cool. Why didn't we spend more time there in an 800-page book? Like, why was the only cool part such a short amount of the book? You know?
Yeah.
And it feel like we moved on so fast that suddenly we're supposed to think that the characters are doing these other things and are in these different positions. And I wanted more bridge to be made between the beginning characters and what they are now.
Yeah. Yes. The agenda. We have an agenda. Rachel told us to read it. Cassidy mentioned it. I think I finished it before she did, gave it 5 stars, and she was like, okay, now I got to go back to it. And then she did her video on it, and it's just, I've seen it everywhere since.
Well, you guys are like it's all loving it, and so, yeah, I bought it as soon as you guys were talking about it, and I was like,
You like it. It's very fast-paced, so if you're more of a plot world galley, you'll be okay. If you're more of a character gal, it might not be 100% up your alley.
I feel
Um,
like I'm both.
maybe, Melissa. It's not it's kind of like a fantasy with sci-fi undertones, and that's the only thing I'm not sure if you would like about it, because you liked Kingdom of Copper, and it's kind of that not overly complex, not super confusing, but intricate type story. But I'm not sure if you would like the sci-fi. And I see where Rachel gets the gay fantasy Star Wars, but at the same time, I don't consider it gay fantasy Star Wars. It's just more gay kind of, yeah, I guess gay fantasy with sci-fi undertones to me. But I see where she gets the Star Wars from. Yeah, the characters are strong. It's just that's not what I would consider the focus of the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely not weak characters. It's just not like Hobb, where that's the focus of the story.
I think for the focus, I'm much more of a world building plot person than character person. But I need good characters.
It's good characters. Good characters.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of character driven books that don't have a ton of plot that I don't like. But there's been books that don't have as well developed characters with a really cool plot that I do like. So between the two, I think world building and plot for me.
Yeah. Melissa, it's not Star Wars in spaceships zapping at each other kind of situation. It's much more fantasy than that. The Star Wars is really just coming from like they use something very similar to blasters, and there is a type of fantasy element that reminds a lot of people of Jedi, but it's not obvious enough that if you hated Star Wars, I think you would dislike this book. It's not that similar.
Is it kind of similar to people comparing Voice of War to Mistborn?
I would say probably less so, in my opinion. I don't think it's that obvious. I don't know that I would have correlated it with Star Wars had Rachel not said that. I see completely where she got it from having read it. I just don't know that I would have made that correlation. I've seen most of the Star Wars. What are you doing, ma'am? So, story time really quick before we run out of time, just because it made me think of this. This morning, I got out of bed and I went to put on my shorts, and I look up, and above my bed, there's a black thing on the wall. And then I look at it, and it is some kind of centipede thing that is like this long, hanging on my wall with legs that are like this long. It was a freaking tiny dinosaur.
Oh my God.
Tiny dinosaur. I was like, what the heck is that thing? So I proceeded to get my vacuum cleaner and stand on my bed and but like I can handle bugs, but not in the bedroom. Stay away from my bed, die, Satan bug. If that thing had landed on me, I think I'd have burned the house down.
Oh, it's making me get the heebie-jeebies.
I would have burned the house down. And now I'm like, do I go to bed? Like, I'm kind of scared. I'm
terrified of bugs. I feel like seeing a bug in your house, you're like, I gotta move. Like I'm no longer safe in my house now, you know?
I mean, I have spiders. I have lots of spiders, but they're big, but they're the wolf spiders that stay on the ground and kind of mind their own business. So I don't want to step on one in the middle of the night. And if I see them, they die. Stay out of my sight and you can survive. But they don't climb on things. So they don't get in the bed because they don't climb. They don't have the little sticky stuff. They can't get on the walls. So they stay on the floor. And as long as they're on the floor, they're less likely to die.
Spiders are actually one of the bugs that bother me the least, which is funny because I feel like most people's spiders is like the scariest. But I mean, I don't like them. But if I had to choose between bugs to be in my house, spiders is pretty high on the list.
Yeah, because spiders, like, for one, they are useful. They have a purpose. They kill other bugs. And for two, they stay, like, mostly on surfaces. Like, they may run really fast, but they're not going to go from the wall, fly by your head, and sting you in the back of the ear. I hate flying, stinging bugs. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, wasp, game over.
I squeal and run around like a small child. There was one buzzing. It was not even a wasp. It was like this dirt dauber thing we were sitting trying to eat the other day. And I was like, and jumping and getting up. My mom was like, well, you sit down. You are a grown-ass woman. And I was like, yeah, well, we're going to go now.
Every time I visit my parents in California, there's, like, these big June bug beetles that fly around, and
Mhm.
they like to sit outside and eat dinner, and I'm just constantly screaming, and it annoys them so much, and I'm like, "I'm sorry,
Sorry, you knew.
I can't relax knowing that there's these buzzing things above us."
Right? David's not scared of spiders. He will try to save them. I will suck them up in the vacuum. He tries to save them and take them outside. There was one day there was a spider and it was a black widow that I saw sitting outside. And I was like, hey, come squish this. And he proceeds to get a cup, a paper cup, and get the spider in there and take it across the street and dump it. And I was like, was it a black widow? And he goes, well, I don't know. And I'm like, did it have red on its stomach? Well, maybe. Do you not know what a black widow looks like?
Yeah, I am
Men are
not the kind of
idiots.
person that saves bugs and puts them outside.
No, they
No.
die. If I
They're
see
dying.
them,
They're
they're
in my
gone.
house, they're dying.
Yes, I hate those. They're the big ones that don't die. They look like giant roaches, but they're not roaches. They're just water beetles. We have those here too, Melissa, and they're horrid. Earwigs. I don't know what an earwig is. I don't think I want to Google this. That sounds terrifying.
No. I accidentally made Teddy afraid of bugs too, because he, like, picks up on my energy when there's a bug in the house, and I'm terrified. Now if Teddy sees a bug, he hides under the bed. I'm like, "You are
That's
no help."
hilarious. He is so cute. He cracks me up laying like that. Like, does all the blood not rush to his head or
I
something?
know. He does that on the, like, bottom of the couch too, where his head is just fully off of the couch.
Ollie's just mad because he wants to go to bed, and I'm not letting him.
Oh, Teddy just fell off.
Okay. Bless it. He said, I've tried to sleep. Okay. I think we're gonna do one more like 30-minute sprint, and that will probably be the last one because I need to do the getting ready for bed things before work tomorrow. So, yeah. No, thank you. It's only 8:30, Ollie. Yeah, yeah. Ollie is he is a bed bug, and he thinks that 8 o'clock is bedtime. He can hear me say it because if I say, "Do you want to go to?" he will jump up and take off running with his toy. But he got a WALK today, and then he had to sit outside in the hot, and it wore him out. It wore him out, Melissa. He's just a little old dog. Okay. So let's do our last 30 minute sprint, and then we'll come back and chat for a minute, and then bedtime.
Sounds good.
Welcome back.
No.
I have very complicated feelings on this book.
How far?
Also, 55%. I also don't think it's a cult book. I can see where you would get those vibes initially, but I don't. It's not. It's Stockholm Syndrome, not cult.
Mhm.
So
that's not good considering what you're reading it for.
no. And I mean, like, I literally got it from, have you ever heard of the not Crime Junkie, Crime by the Book on Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got it from one of her reels about cult books. So I felt like it was a pretty reliable source, but it's not a cult book.
Maybe it'll get more culty towards the last 50%?
I think it was more like, I thought it was more of a cult vibe in the beginning than I do now. I don't think it's really a spoiler because it's all over the Goodreads reviews, but it's more of like trafficking and Stockholm syndrome than it is cult. So, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings. Things I like are the same things that I really don't like. So, more book 2, watching and finish packing, standard 100 pages, and 41 of the family upstairs. What's the clock app?
Is she talking about TikTok?
Oh, probably. How did you do, Kaylee?
I got to page 204. I'm gonna stop there with that book tonight and read my audiobook instead. But yeah, there was a well scene that I really liked reading about, but it was like 5 pages of the pages that I read, and then the rest were all just like, okay, I'm kind of bored skimming through. And the well scene was good. I'm being vague, but I'm curious if Rachel remembers the well scene or not.
I'm sure she does.
The well scene in the school, I was a fan of, and I wished more of the book was like had that sort of action/tension to it. When most of it, I'm just kind of bored by.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering from everybody is that it's got some really good moments, but those moments are few and far between in the just kind of walking and talking.
And it's like the characters that were affected by the scene that I really liked, it was again like a couple pages, and then we flip to some other characters, and it's been a couple days now, and we haven't seen where the characters that were in the scene I liked happened. And so it's like it kind of it's like a buzzkill where you get excited about something and then it cuts away from it too fast each time.
Yeah. I am not a time jump fan. It can be done appropriately, but when you cut away or you time jump and you sacrifice context and development and emotion that you're going to need later, it really irritates me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, House of the Dragon and Jade Legacy.
Yeah, I hate time jumps too. I was actually talking about this with Cassidy earlier. Not that it is with a sorcerer dude, but it's him trying to light the candle and then being in the well. But it doesn't matter. It's a really small moment, so that's why it's like it even makes sense that you don't remember right off the top of your head, because that's the point. It's like this small moment that I really like, but it's so small, and I'm like, why is all this other stuff being blown up so much? When the one cool moment, it's so small. I'm like, let's spend some time here.
Right.
But yeah, I was talking to Cassidy earlier about time jumps because yeah, I hate time jumps too. The Queen's Poisoner series, I don't know if you've
haven't yet. I want to, but I have not yet.
It has a giant time jump in it partway through the series, and when that time jump happened, I stopped reading because I was like, okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, very rarely they can be useful, but most of the time I just feel like I got lost on so much context and so much motivation behind things. Like, I don't know. It's just easy to use House of the Dragon as an example because it's not really going to spoil anything. But they literally, with the 10-year time jump, I see why they had to do that. But at the same time, you lost so much information, so much character development. I mean, Damon went from badass to daddy all in like one episode. And I don't like when you completely lose important information because they feel like they've got to rush to get from point A to point B.
It feels like the characters you like died because they don't exist anymore, and it feels like they're all new characters that you don't know at all, and you're not invested in them because they have different personalities than you're used to. Yeah, I don't like it either. It to me, it's the same effect of, like, killing off your whole cast and starting over, you know?
Agreed. I think it would have worked better, just using this as an example, if they had waited and done that at the end of the season and done it in between seasons. But it's so 90% of the time jumps are so jarring that they're not useful. Jade Legacy did that, where it had probably 6 or 7 years time jumps. And I'm like, okay, but I lost all that emotion. Anything that's supposed to make me care why he feels the way that he does or why this character acted the way that they did, you just completely destroyed.
Yep.
So I don't care. I don't agree with that. I think he is doing it extremely well. I can see where you would think that if you haven't watched it, but
that's what I was gonna say. Before I watched the show, I was like, people are simping over Matt Smith. Like, and I was like, I didn't get it. But then when I watched the show, I was like, I get it. He's amazing.
Yep, I get it. Yeah, if you're only used to seeing him as buttoned up Doctor Who, I can definitely see where you'd be like, I don't see it. But if you've watched it, yeah. So if you've watched it, I think people were irritated when they first found out that casting, and now you would probably have to fight people if they tried to recast him.
He's so good in it. He's so good.
Storming with pitchforks, which is kind of funny. All right. Well, I think that we're going to wrap it up here. I got to go do the getting ready for bed stuff. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Kaylee, for joining me. And we will see you guys soon. Good night.